It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it's great to have you in studio with us today. We're sitting down with Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman and Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constable. Welcome back, you two.
Good morning. Thank you.
How's life treating you? It's been a rough election year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Still coming at you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of expected that, but we're not going to dive into all that, but we are going to dive into election things and some changes that maybe we need to be notified of. Yavapai County has a new website, in case you didn't know. It is yavapaiaz.gov. It's not the yavapai.az.us anymore. It's yavapaiaz.gov. Yeah. So that's where you want to go for anything Yavapai County related. Let's first jump into Tuesday's election. We've got one coming up just on November 2nd, and I put a story together on yesterday, talking about if you've got your ballot, today's the last day you should try to get in the mail.
Yeah,
and,
right. Don't mail them.
Yeah, don't mail them back from now until Tuesday, of course. So let's talk about that first. If I still have my ballot and I've got an election coming up on Tuesday, not everybody has an election on Tuesday, November 2nd, but some do. If I still have my ballot, what should I do with it?
Either bring it to our office here or in Prescott, or take it to the drop box. We have a drop box inside and outside in Cottonwood, a drop box inside, outside in Prescott, and then the Clarkdale box is open as well.
And the Jerome.
And the Jerome.
And the Jerome, okay, because we've got the Cottonwood Oak Creek School District, and we've got the Mingus Union High School District.
Yes.
Both have got those budget override continuations on the ballot. So if you're in those districts, you should have received a ballot. If you didn't, if I didn't get a ballot and I'm just now hearing about it, but I'm a registered voter, I need to get a hold of you guys as soon as possible.
And you need to go in person.
Go and you can vote early in person right up until 7 p.m. on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes.
And I can do that in either county annex building, the one in Prescott or the one in Cottonwood.
Right.
Correct.
Boom. Easy peasy, right?
Easy.
Yes.
Yeah. So what else is coming up on Tuesday? What else do we need to know?
So we have a new envelope.
Yes.
New envelope, yes.
And
okay.
we've been making a lot of calls. Some people are forgetting to sign because it's a little bit different now. We were trying to look at, we had to redesign the envelope because of the legislature. Now there's a box that says return to USPS on it if it happens to come to you and that person has moved. And we'll get that back. Since we had to redesign our envelope, we decided it was time to rethink the whole package. We were able to eliminate one envelope and still be able to conceal the signature. So now instead of putting your pink envelope inside of a carrier envelope, you will be the flap is longer, you'll sign, and then when you seal it, it's covered, and then all we have to do is we have a tear off so that we can see your signature through the tear off. We still don't see the ballot because when it comes to voter registration for signature verification, it's still sealed, so the name and ballot are never together. So it's a little bit different. The place to sign is in a different place. So I've been trying to tell people, look for that. But we didn't want it on the outside of the envelope. We still wanted to be able to conceal the envelope.
Conceal the signature.
Or the signature, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, conceal the signature. So a lot of people are liking it, and they know that it's saving a tremendous amount, and just that extra envelope and postage as well.
Okay. All right. So we're saving some money.
Saving some money.
And it's still a pink envelope.
Yep,
okay.
Still pink.
So the post office notices that. Nobody uses pink. I don't know why. But
Because it's for elections.
I know. It's just for us, and we get those pretty fast.
Yeah, they're very good. The envelopes are extra large, so they stand out, and they're really good. All of our mail, of course, goes to Phoenix and back. But when it gets close to the election, our post offices will keep those and process them locally, so we still get them by 7 p.m. on Election Day.
Oh, that's interesting. So they kind of change up their process when it gets closer and closer to Election Day. So any pink envelope that were to come in, say, picked up Monday, would get to you by Tuesday then, hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully.
That's what they're trying to do.
Again, as we mentioned, though, at the beginning here, the best thing you can do right now is to just drop it off in person. You can go inside and drop it off, or you can drop it off at those special election boxes outside the county buildings. And you said also there's one in Clarkdale, one in Jerome as well.
Yes.
Okay. Then Prescott, of course, the county annex building's right there in Prescott, so you can drop it off. They've got one outside City Hall, though, too, right? Prescott City Hall?
No. There's one inside City Hall.
Inside City Hall. Okay, so they can drop it there as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
They
right.
can take it to the town clerk, and she'll take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we pick it up. Okay. None of that goes to the post office.
Yeah.
Using our drop boxes, it's all in our custody.
Okay.
So if you see people emptying the drop boxes with yellow vests, those are our people.
Those are election
Those
officials.
are election officials, yes, emptying. And there's always 2 of them.
Right.
We always do everything bipartisan. So 2 people will be emptying those boxes.
That makes sense.
In a
One person
vehicle
watch
that'll
the
have the
other.
logo so that there's no doubt that it's a county employee.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you got a yellow vester in there digging around in an election box, they're supposed to be there doing it.
Right.
Okay. Now you mentioned there's a new checkbox now on the envelope. That wasn't always there though.
No.
Because I know that's been a thing. Like if I move into a house and then all of a sudden I'm getting Joe Schmo and his wife's ballot and they're getting mailed to my house, it'd be very easy for me to fill those ballots out, and that's part of what's been going on lately. It'd be really easy for me to take those extra ballots that I got at my house, fill them out the way I want to, and then ship them on back. But of course, that's illegal to do that.
And we
That's a
still
felony.
check the signature.
Right.
Right. There's the signature check, but
Yes.
it's illegal to do so.
Yes.
It's a felony.
And we've
Yes.
got a few cases that have popped up now. I think the most recent one was the one down in Pima County. There's somebody that
It was a felon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A felon.
Yeah,
Yes.
somebody who was in
Yes.
prison and voted while
Yeah,
in
it was
prison.
his ballot, but he wasn't eligible to vote.
Right.
Yeah.
So that also is illegal.
Yes.
Right.
So the checkbox is nice to have because then if a ballot comes to my house and it's not for me or my wife, then I'm supposed to check that box, right? Stick it back in the mailbox. The mail carrier grabs that ballot back. It gets back to you, and
Right.
then what happens? Now you've got a ballot back that says, "Hey, this person doesn't live here anymore." What do you guys do with that one?
We do that with all official election mail. It's not forwardable. It comes back to us. It's one of the ways that we keep our rolls clean. Is why we send out election mail throughout the year. And if it comes back, then we send a forwardable piece of mail because they have obviously not turned in their change of address, or maybe it has expired. And so we send a forwardable letter saying, "Hey, we have notification you moved. Please fill out this new form." Or if you have, if you've moved out of county or out of state, please let us know. They have 35 days to respond. If they don't respond in that 35 days, then that account is inactive.
Okay.
But it stays inactive for 2 federal cycles. So they have a lot of time to go in and activate that account again. They can even show up and vote. And every once in a while they say, I didn't move. And it was just an extra ballot got dropped off or missed when delivery. But usually they forget. They remember to change their driver's licenses, their Verizon bills, their magazine subscriptions, but they forget to change their address at voter registration until election, and then they call and say, "I didn't get a ballot." I said, "Where do you live?" That's not what we have on record.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a method for curing that. And they can go into servicearizona.com and update their address, or they can mail us something or just fill out, they have to re-register. They have to fill out a new voter registration form if they're changing their physical address.
Okay.
If they're just changing their mailing address, they don't. They can send us an email, just send us a letter, sign it. We still verify it's the right person, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. And then deaths as well. I mean, if I were to pass, my wife can, of course, contact you guys and say, "Hey, Paul David's gone." You get death certificates, death records to deal with these ballots?
Well, and she can. She can call us and
She
say,
can call?
"My husband has passed away. Can you take him off the voter rolls?" And we say, "Not yet. We will send you an affidavit that she signs and says, yes, he is deceased," and sends that back to us.
Okay.
Because it's possible that you were in an accident in another state. So the death records that we get are just for Arizona.
Okay.
Unless they come from a new program that we have now that's a nationwide program. About 33 states are involved. So we're starting to get cross-state death records, which are great.
Okay.
That helps us with our rolls.
To help with that one, too. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Wow, we got to take our first break already.
Wow.
I know. Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman, Yavapai County Elections Director Layden Constable. Yavapai County's website has changed. It's yavapaiaz.gov. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Who doesn't dream of home improvements? Perhaps your kitchen, the real living room. Maybe the bathroom, where you bookend your day. Langstrand Contracting is your one-stop shop from tear down to finishing touches. With 35 years of experience, Chris and his team will work with you to match your family's style and budget. Call Langstrand Contracting today for guidance in bringing your vision to life.
Your carpet is the largest air filter in your home, trapping dust, dirt, and germs from the air that your family members breathe, even the furriest ones.
That's why it's important to keep your carpet and tile clean and hygienic with regular cleanings by Zero Res.
Zero Res uses state-of-the-art technology and ZR water, not soap or harsh chemicals, so zero residue is left on your home surfaces.
Schedule your appointment today because a clean home is a healthy home. Visit ZeroResNorthernArizona.com.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Terrifying jobs, high-flying linemen, take 3.
Josh, this is an absolutely terrifying job. Why do you do it?
It's a very demanding job, but very rewarding and exciting.
How much energy are you actually working with up there?
500,000 volts of electricity.
It's definitely not my line of work. Does anything shock you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
Welcome back to County Wide. We're sitting down with the Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constabile and Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman. Again, county website is yavapaiaz.gov. Ryan had a question. How often and how many of these registration changes do you guys see in a day, and death certificates and things like that coming through the office? Is it a phenomenal amount of numbers or just a small amount? I mean, what?
Yeah, we're maintaining and updating those records all the time. We touch our rolls about 500 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah, so people, like I say, changing address, updating, changing a mailing address, changing a name, a party. We have stuff coming in through Easy Voter, which is the servicearizona.com. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we get mail back in. People send we were talking earlier about sending things to us. So yeah, we are constantly in those rolls. And then we have the National Change of Address that comes through the Postal Service. It's a program giving us change of address even before the individuals send to it. So it gives us a chance to, ahead of the game, send a mailer out and say, oh, USPS says you've moved, we need to update your records.
Wow, that seems like a lot of work to keep track of.
It keeps everybody busy.
Yeah, I would imagine so, huh?
That's it's a full-time job. It's like 4 full-time jobs.
Right.
How many registered voters are in Yavapai County?
165,000. Give or take every moment, because I have 5
out of a
people
population of, what is it, like 200 and... I don't know the number of the population of Yavapai County. I know Arizona itself is 7.5 million, something like 7.2 to 7.5 million people in the state of Arizona. Okay.
We're about 230.
Let's move on. Next year's 2022, we got Senate seats coming up. It's going to be a pretty big election year. What do we got coming up, Lynn?
So for federal offices, we have Senator and Congress. And then for state offices, we have basically all the state offices: Governor, Secretary of State, State Treasurer, Attorney General, the Mine Inspector, the Corporation Commission. All of those offices will be on the ballot. And then for county offices, we have the Clerk of the Court, 5 of the Superior Court judges, all of the justices of the peace, and all of the constables.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and they all file with my office, all the county offices.
Okay.
And we actually have preliminary packets available online, yavapaiaz.gov, and they're called preliminary because the signature requirements that they have to get on their petitions, I can't do the math till after January 2nd. So once Leslie runs the rolls on January 2nd of next year, then I can take the percentage and tell them how many signatures they have to get on each petition. So we have preliminary numbers. I have my little preliminary numbers out.
If I wanted to run for a seat right now, I could pick that up and start getting the signatures, but I'm not really going to know how many I need until after that January 2nd roll. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So these are based on January 2nd of this year.
Okay.
So they will have changed a little bit. Always get more signatures on your petitions than you need.
Sure.
And then you also have to, probably new for this year, for these candidates, is you have to do a statement of interest before you can start collecting signatures. So you have to file a statement of interest with my office. It's in the candidate packet.
Okay.
And you just have to say, I'm going to run for this office. You have to file it with me. I put it in your folder, and then you can start circulating your petitions.
Okay.
It basically just says, I'm going to run for this office.
Is that the official throwing my hat in the ring?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the official one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just have to file that, then you can start collecting signatures. And again, about mid-January, look on the website again, and we'll have an updated list of signatures, the actual official signatures that are required.
Okay.
And then the filing for that is from March 5th to April 4th. So they file a little bit earlier because, as you know, the primary election moved a little bit earlier.
Right.
So now we're getting those filings a little bit earlier in the year.
Okay.
And then also in August, you'll see cities and towns. They'll have their councils and their mayors on the August ballot.
These are the primaries too. So these are the big ones. We talk about this with both Lynn and Leslie all the time about the primaries, how important they are, because these are the candidates that are going to be moving forward and become statewide candidates eventually, possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
We've seen that. So the local elections are very important. Who knows what kind of political ambitions folks have. So it's important. Because a lot of the primaries we see where it's just voted outright.
Right.
It's over and done.
Yeah, so especially for city and town councils, if they get a certain percentage of the vote in the primary, they don't have to move on to the general at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll be every city and town in Yavapai County except for Prescott. Prescott holds their elections in the odd year, so that's what we're doing this year.
Yep, they've got theirs next Tuesday.
And then also on our August ballot, our Precinct Committee Men. So these are the precinct officers for the different parties. They run in the primary.
Okay.
And again, their signature requirements are based on the January 2nd numbers, so we won't have those packets available for them until mid-January. We've been getting calls from the precinct committeemen, but mid-January they'll see their packets, and they always have a maximum of 10 signatures.
Okay.
So they could download a packet from last time and get 10 signatures, and they do not have to do a statement of interest.
Okay.
So that's different for them.
And that's all coming up in 2022.
That's all August.
That's all August.
Yes. I have November too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So in November we have our runoff elections, like you said.
For all the cities and towns. Okay.
For the cities and towns and all the county offices and all the state offices, not the precinct committeemen. And then we have most of our special districts. Those are your fire districts, your water districts, your sanitary, wastewater, road improvement, hospital, and then your school districts, your school district boards, your college districts, and your JTEDs are on the November election.
Okay.
And then you'll also see all your propositions. So all your initiatives that people are circulating right now that qualify for the ballot will be on the November ballot.
A year away.
A year away.
We know how fast that goes.
Yes.
Jeez. It's amazing.
It's really amazing.
Yeah. All right. So that's all 2022.
It's 2022. It's called the midterms.
Holy cow. Okay. We have to take our second break.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's take our second break. YavaPai.az.gov is the website. Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman, Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constable with me today. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Who doesn't dream of home improvements? Perhaps your kitchen, the real living room. Maybe the bathroom, where you bookend your day. Langstrand Contracting is your one-stop shop from tear down to finishing touches. With 35 years of experience, Chris and his team will work with you to match your family's style and budget. Call Langstrand Contracting today for guidance in bringing your vision to life.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Terrifying job. Snake handler, take one.
James, this is a really terrifying job.
Given the hazards, why do you do it?
I've been fascinated by reptiles since I was a child.
Tell me about your little friend there.
So this is Bear Hug. He's a Burmese python. We have him here at the Phoenix Zoo.
He kind of makes my skin crawl. Is there anything that rattles you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left in the program, so a few more things we want to cover. First of all, ballot harvesting. It used to be where if my neighbors couldn't get out to go and take their own ballot in, I could go next door and pick them up and take them all in. But ballot harvesting is no longer a thing unless I'm a family member?
A family member in the same household.
Okay. And that's the only way that applies?
No, there's a couple other things. If you're a caregiver, you can take a ballot for the person you're caring for, or if you're a caregiver in like a nursing home or assisted living, you can help them as well.
Okay.
And postal carriers.
Yes, postal carriers
and
can obviously.
election officials.
Yeah.
Okay.
And election officials.
So if a postal worker came to my house to drop the mail off, and I said, "Here, take my ballot," and I just handed it to him, I could do that, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. All right. Well, there's a lot of questions anymore about these things because it's been back and forth this last year. So that was my question about the ballot harvesting. Laws surrounding polling places. I can see the polling places might be something that's going to be a little bit hyped up this next year. And there's certain rules you have to follow when you're outside of a polling place. What are some of those?
Yeah, so within 75 feet of the polling place, you can't verbally electioneer. So you can wear anything you want.
Hey, Lynn, vote for it.
Yep, you can't do that.
I can't do
that. Yep, you can wear anything you want. You can wear a T-shirt that says, vote for Pedro, whatever you want.
Right.
But you can't be talking to people and telling them how to vote or trying to convince them to vote or not to vote.
Or handing them flyers.
You can't be handing stuff out.
I've got to be at least 75 feet away from the building to be able to do any of those things.
Then you
can. Then you can do that.
Okay. Do you guys mark that where the city?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have little signs, little white signs. We mark it in 3 places, and basically it's a loop around the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
And within that area, you can't do it. Okay.
Right.
Correct.
Poll workers, are you guys concerned? Because the Associated Press had a story yesterday or the day before about how a lot of election officials across the country have been quitting due to the threats they've been receiving and just the treatment in general. Are you thinking it's going to be tough to find poll workers?
We're thinking it is going to be tough to find poll workers. We're going to start early in 2022 and try to get as many people on as we can early.
Okay.
So if you start getting calls from my department, to ask you to be a poll worker, it's true. We're going to start really early this year.
Okay. All right.
We'll also be looking for seasonal workers that come in
Okay.
and work early to process the early ballots. So if someone wants, this is a great time to earn Christmas money. August and November, because you're going to be working 4 to 6 weeks and pretty steady. But so it's just seasonal. So we'll be looking for those as well.
Okay, all right. My last question for you guys, we've got about a minute and a half left, 2 minutes to go on the show, is there's a lot of talk of doing away with the vote machines, doing away with mail-in balloting, and everybody needs to go to a polling place on Election Day. And I'm thinking to myself, 7.5 million people in the state of Arizona all going to a polling place on a Tuesday, voting from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then you're saying also that they want the results within a couple hours after that. I remember when I first started doing news, results weren't coming in until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and that was just for a small area. I can't imagine what that would be for an entire state or an entire country. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, and that would change Yavapai County. We'd have to go back to precinct-based polling, and you'd have to be assigned a place to go. We'd have to re-precinct the whole county so that precincts were only 1,000 people or less. And we'd have to get over 1,000 poll workers because we'd have to have about 167 polling places. And then we'd have to have at least 6 people there running the polling place. So I'd have to get over 1,000, which we hire about 300 right now.
Okay.
So that would be a big undertaking. And then just counting. So after you work 13 hours, then you're expected to count every single race on that ballot by 9 o'clock. I just think that's physically impossible.
Okay.
Accurately.
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to count the ballots that many times, but to do it accurately, I just don't see that happening.
I don't know how we get 7.5 million people through polling places in one day. That's a lot of people. We're out of time, but I did want to hit that up really quick. Leslie, great to see you. So we'll see you in 2022.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, Lynn, nice to see you as well. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
All right, that's today's countywide. Again, yavapaiaz.gov is the website. Stick around. Oh, that's it for countywide. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you again next time.